I'm so glad I've decided to work on this room tour videos because I finally get to clean my room properly. Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. It's been a few days since I first posted my video. I can't be any more thankful for your support. I know that I'm flawed in so many ways possible and my work is far from perfection whatsoever, but I promise that I will do my best to bring you guys even better content in the future. Without any further ado, let's get to our video. If you have been following me on Facebook,
which by the way you should totally do if you haven't yet,
you probably would have seen my post asking you guys what kind of videos you I wanted to see, and the result came back mainly wanting me to do a study tips video and a room tour video as well. I admit that I kind of failed to fulfill your expectation because for the room tour videos I wasn't sure if I can turn it into good videos from that kind of idea because my room is really small, but I will try to make it up for you guys through today's video. So the reason why I finally decided to do this video after postponing it for months.
I knew exactly what to do, but in a much more real sense, I had no idea what to do.
Because at first, as I said, I wasn't sure if I can show you guys what you guys wanted to see because my room is pretty small, so there isn't much to show you guys. But then again, I don't think I have seen any YouTubers living in, such a small space like mine, so I suppose introducing my room would probably be a good and interesting experience for you guys. So today I'm gonna take you guys around my room, talk to you guys a little bit about what's inside the building, which won't take long because my room is pretty small and there isn't much to show you guys. So instead of just ending the videos where I'm done with the room tour, I will also introduce you guys to a few types of accommodations you can find in Korea and how to find them easily through phone applications. So first of all, this is how the building I'm living in looks like from the outside. It might seem like there are only 4 floors, but there are actually 5 floors to this building. The first floor is built as a semi-basement floor, which is called 반지하 in Korean. The kitchen area is also located on the first floor. Please note that there is only one common kitchen area in this whole 5-floor building. The building has 2 kinds of room for rent. The first and the 4th floor of the building is for Koshwon. It is a rather small room for students or examinees to live in and study for whatever tests or exam they are preparing. There is seemingly no equivalent expression in English, so I will just leave it as it is. The remaining 3 floors are for one-room kind of room, which can be translated to studio or one-room apartment in English. For anyone who doesn't know the difference between one-room and koshwon, I'll explain it to you guys now. First of all, koshwon is just a room ranging from 7 to 9 square meter. There is no personal bathroom or kitchen area for koshwon. The only thing you can do in a koshwon room is either studying or sleeping. Meanwhile, one room is bigger than koshwon, usually around 16 to 20 square meter. One room owners have their own bathroom, kitchen areas, and they are free to do whatever they like in their room. Koshwon room usually doesn't require you to pay for any kind of deposit, while for one room you have to pay a certain amount of money as the deposit for the room. The one room around my area usually have deposits ranging from 1 million won to 10 million won, which is approximately $900 to $9,000. Despite having quite a few differences from one another, the rent prices of these 2 kinds of rooms are pretty much the same. One room rent is, of course, depending on how much you put in deposit. The more deposit you pay, the less rent you have to take care of every month. For the area I am living in right now, the rent can range from 250,000 to 100,000 won, which is approximately $230 to $360 every month. This price already included the water and electricity fees, the internet fees, and the maintenance cost, so you don't have to worry about paying extra fees for anything. I'm currently living in a Koshwon room on the 4th floor of the building. So first let's take a look at the hallway of the building. Since there's only one common kitchen area, which is all the way down on the 1st floor, the landlord is generous enough to give us this magical microwave, just in case we want to fill our stomach with instant noodle. Next to the microwave, we have the water purifier. You can write down the words while watching the videos. I'm actually lacing the lesson into this video today, and here we have the almighty girls only bathroom.
Where I spend most of my time shitting while playing Match 3 on phones.
There's also a washing machine inside the bathroom, which is completely free to use, but you have to use your own detergent and fabric softener. Moving on, we have this huge called the main air conditioner. The air flows through these tubes into each room, putting the heat of summer at rest. But since the air conditioner is connected throughout all the rooms on this floor, sometimes the air conditioner can be a little bit too cold or too hot, but as you try to adjust it, someone else will adjust it, so it's a little bit uncomfortable. Then again, I don't think that it is something bad considering the price is pretty cheap for this kind of room. And finally, welcome to my home sweet home. I had to speed clean the whole room just so I can finally film it in the best condition possible. But it was a good occasion for me to finally declutter my room, because as much as I try to clean my room every day, my room is pretty small and there are actually a lot of stuff that I usually use in daily life. So instead of putting them into places that they are supposed to be, I usually place them around the area that I'm usually in my room, which is the bed or the sleeping area. As you can see, it is pretty small. I mean, a little bit too small actually. The room I'm living in right now cost me 280,000 won every month, which is around $250. But the same kind of room on the first floor only cost 230,000 won a month. The reason why it's a little bit cheaper is that the semi-basement floor room is a little bit darker, it's a little bit more humid, so that might actually lead to mold and kind of stuff, the nasty stuff. But then again, my room is actually quite cheap comparing to the same kind of room around this area. Since it's not newly constructed, the facilities are actually pretty old and worn out already. But then again, it doesn't mean that the room is trash or anything. The only reason I sometimes hate my rooms is because of the irresponsible tenants, which is pretty much inevitable in any kind of living environment. Not even the landlord can fix them, so I just gotta live with it. So when I first came in, the room is already kind of furnished. As you can see, this shoe rack, this wardrobe, this refrigerator, this set of desk and chair, and also the bookshelf are basically offered the day I moved in. Also, there is free internet connection. So originally the landlord offered me a single foldable bed, but I wasn't living for that, so I just dumped the bed and actually bought this waterproof super single foldable mattress. Since I don't have much room, having this kind of mattress is pretty convenient because I can just lift it up or fold it up if I want more space for myself, and lower it down if I need to get some sleep, which is pretty quick and not so much work to it. Actually, my so-called workspace is right here on the bed. Next is this lanky baby right here. It is a cloth hanger, the stick type. I'm not really sure if that's what it's called in English, but yeah, I think I spent around 24,000 won for this, and the package came in with 4 separated sticks. My job was to assemble them in the right way as well as matching them to the height of my room. It actually wasn't that hard because there was instruction in the package as well, but then again, if you are 5'2" like me, you would probably want to bring a chair or something just in case. And as I mentioned, the Kosuwon provide me with free internet connection, but it came in the form of a internet cord, so you have to actually buy your own Wi-Fi router. The router can be purchased from basically any kind of store in Korea. For example, Daiso and Artbox, all of that. I bought mine at Artbox, I think, which cost me around 25,000 won, which is around $22, which is not really that expensive, right? You would have to install an application on your phone to set up the internet network and also the Wi-Fi password as well. The curtains right here are also brought home by me since the room is horribly bright in the morning, and as a sleepyhead I am, I hate sunlight. So aside from Kosuwon and Wonroom, which is like the most popular type accommodation in Korea right now, we also have 2room, 3room, opistel, and apart. First of all, we have 2room and 3room. I will combine these two together because it's basically the same thing. The only difference is that 2room has 2 bedrooms and 3room has 3 bedrooms. They are basically a studio apartment with more than 1 bedroom. It works the same as 1room actually, usually fully furnished, and the rent usually already covered all kinds of fees. Next, we have opistel, which is translated to studio flat in English. This is like a more luxurious, more efficient kind of one room. Opistel are usually around 25 to 35 square meter, a bit bigger than normal one room, and you can actually turn a part of your room into a fully functioning office if you want, hence the name. Recently, 2-story opistel is gaining a lot more attention and popularity than the normal 1-story opistel. People would usually use the first floor as their office, their working space, and they can use the second floor as their bedroom. Opistel is actually a good choice for anyone who wants to work at home or you want to build a small office at home. I recommend this kind of room for you guys. But then again, it is quite large, so the deposit for a studio flat usually range from 10 million won to actually 100 million won, depending on where you want to live, of course. The rent, again, depending on the deposit that you put in, is usually around 500,000 won to 1 million won a month. The last kind of accommodation is called apart in Korean, which is basically apartment in English. I don't think I have to explain much about this kind of accommodation because it works basically the same as apartment in any other countries. For this kind of accommodation, you have 2 choices for rental. You can either pay a certain amount of money for deposit and then pay rent every month. This is called 월세 kind of contract. Or you can sign a contract to live there for example, 1 year, and then you only need to pay the yearly lease. And this kind of contract is called 전세 contract in Korean. But usually the monthly rent and the yearly lease does not include water and electricity fees, does not include the maintenance fees. You have to buy your own internet package. So aside from the rent you pay every month and the lease you pay every year if you want to do the 전세 kind of thing, you also have to consider the amount of money, the amount of extra fees you have to pay every month if you want to live in an apart. So my biggest goal right now is to actually move from here to a bigger room, which is a one room, because as much as I love it here, I need more space for work and studying. So yeah,
Support me on Patreon.
so I have only moved once since I first came to Korea, so I actually don't have that much experience in moving whatsoever, but I do have experience in room seeking. It's like a hobby. I like to look at a room that I can afford. So after poking around with a few, websites and phone applications and stuff, this is my top choice for room seeking application. I'm just doing this to help you guys out, help a sister out, just in case someone wants to look for rooms but don't want to go around and asking for information and stuff. So this application is called Tabang. You can find it on both Google Play for Android and App Store for iOS, but do remember that you have to be in Korea to be able to download this application, because it is not available anywhere else outside of Korea. After installing it, tap on the icon to open this baby up. There are a few things you need to know before getting to the search. First of all, this is the search bar. You can type in a station's name or your school's name, so the system can look up rooms around that area for you. For example, if you want to look for rooms near Mia Station, tap on that result right there and poof, the system brings you straight to Mia Station while showing you rooms that are available for rental. This bar right here above the map are for sorting out rooms according to your likings. The first tab is for selecting the kind of rooms you are looking for. We have 1 room, 2, 3 room, opistel and apart, just like I mentioned earlier. The second tab is for choosing the range of price you prefer. The upper part of set tab is types of rental. You already knew what 월세 and 전세 means, so I will skip those. But the last choice, 매매, is basically looking for a house or room to buy. Moving down, we have the first option for prices, which is deposit. The second option is for monthly rent, and the last one is selling price. The third tab is an option for the maintenance fee. It works just like the second tab. The fourth tab is room size. The fifth tab lets you pick where you want your room to be in the building. 전체 means all. If you don't really care about which floor you'll be living in, just pick this. And then we have first floor up to the 6th floor. After that, we have 7th floor and above choice. Semi-basement choice and rooftop room choice are available as well. Let me remind you again that semi-basement room can be a little bit too dark, can be a little bit too humid for your likings, and sometimes there could be mold. And rooftop rooms are usually old, worn out, and poorly or barely furnished, and can be very cold in the winter. So that's the reason why these two kind of rooms are usually cheaper than the same kind of room in the same building. The 6th tab is room structure, where you can pick either separated kitchen area or 2-storied room, or you can just pick none. The 7th tab is additional features. I'll list them right here so you can see them all. The last tab is where you can pick how you want to pay for your room. 중개 means signing the contract and paying through a real estate agency, while 직거래 means signing the contract and paying the landlord directly. And that concludes my video for today. I hope you like it. I hope you can actually learn something from it. I was trying my best to be educational in this kind of videos, because I don't want to just show you my room for like pure entertainment. There won't be any Korean lesson today, since I think I have already given you enough vocabularies to munch on until Monday, which is when I'll be posting my next videos. Also, show your support by becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. I'll leave a link down below. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!